Monday evening session of beam meditation. I will narrate you a story. There was a thief caught, and the judge sentenced him to death. Because while he was stealing something, he also killed a person. And as we know that judge would ask him about his last statement or last wish. Like, do you want to say something? The thief said, I just want to meet my mother. And because he was going to die, so judge allowed his mother to come. And when his mother approached him, he bit his mother's nose off. And because of that, now his mother was crying, screaming, because it hurt. The judge asked the thief, why did you do this? The thief said, I was thinking, how could I end up in this mess, stealing things and killing a person even? And then I thought, it is just because of my mother. Everyone was surprised. That is not possible. Elaborate, why did you actually do this? So thief said, when I was very, very, very young, one day what happened that my mother gave me bath. And because I was also very mischievous, as all the children will be of that age. So I ran off from my house and I went into neighbor's courtyard. But my neighbor had put some grains or seeds to dry in the sunlight. So I slipped, and all the seeds, sesame seeds were there. All seeds actually stuck to my body, my wet body. So I was afraid that my neighbor would actually punish me or scold me. So I just went back to my mom. And when she saw me that all the sesame seeds, many of them stuck on my wet body, she asked me to stand there in the sunlight. And after a while, all seeds dropped off my body. She collected those seeds and put them into our kitchen. My neighbor used to dry so many things like grains, rice grains, or this grains, or that grain. And whenever she was doing that, my mother would give me bath and ask me to run to my next door neighbor's courtyard, roll on those grains or seeds. And because I was very little and young, so my neighbor would not actually say anything. She complained to my mother, but my mother said, well, you're just a kid. Then she would collect those grains and seeds. After a while, I saw a chocolate bar in the shop. And I thought it is okay to grab something without asking the permission of the shopkeeper, just like my neighbors. And my mother used to actually send me to my neighbor's courtyard. So I stole a chocolate bar. And gradually, as I grew up, The idea of stealing things from somebody else's was so rooted into my mind that I never thought that stealing something from somebody is not good. It's okay because that's what my mother taught me indirectly. And now I'm in here, going to be hung by rope around my neck. And she stopped me on the very first instance. That look, this is not right. You slipped. Okay, it was your mistake. Now go and apologize. And had she not collected those sesame seeds and put them into her kitchen, I wouldn't be here. I would be, or I might be living something of some different life. Because his mother permitted those things, allowed those things to happen. It simply means that she promoted those things. When your child does something wrong, and if we allow them to continue, or if we do not tell our children, if we do not prohibit our children about whatever they have done wrong, it simply means that we are promoting those wrongdoings. Now, this is a very simple story. What is the moral of this simple story? Moral is also very simple. As the topic says, what you permit, you promote. And what it has to do with these spiritual things? We all are working on the spiritual path. What does this story teach us? Because while we are walking on the spiritual path, and it happens to everybody, regardless. When we are walking on the spiritual path, it's a different thing that spirituality has no path. There is no path in spirituality. Spirituality is like a sky, seamless, endless sky, where no one leaves their footprints. When you see a footprint, and when someone tells you to walk on those footprints, then you are not walking on the spiritual path, you are walking on a sectarial religiousness, but not on the spiritual path, because spirituality has no path and there are no footprints. So, if someone asks you to follow someone's path, then both of the person who is asking you and the person who is following, both have missed the mark. And they will end up in sectorial religiousness, but not for the realization. When we are doing all this meditation and sadhana and trying to realize ourselves, we are encountered with so many things, with so many ideas, with so many experiences. And all the time, if we keep moving towards those directions, then we will miss the target. And target is ourselves only. There is no outside target. You are the way, you are the medium, and you are the destiny. There is no other way, there is no other medium, and there is no other destiny. And that is spirituality. Sometimes we hear that, or sometimes we read a lot, we watch a lot. There's nothing wrong in reading or watching anything. But sometimes when we read and watch, and then we have these all different kinds of experiences and thoughts going into our mind. We are allowing them to go into our mind. And then what happens? Our mind becomes customized. Our mind becomes that thought. People would say that I have seen light. If you meditate, you will see flash of light. If you meditate, you will see some guiding spirits. If you meditate, you will see some divine angels. If you meditate, you will experience this or that. The ultimate or the absolute, or some people call it God. I do not call it God because when we say God, we have a particular mindset to think about God. If somebody is sitting on the throne with the golden crown, on golden throne, with so many divine angels around that person, we have this idea of God. And that is why I do not use the word God. The ultimate or the absolute has no characteristics. The absolute is beyond all dualities. When you say that I experience some kind of happiness, then it is not the absolute. Because happiness is the other side of sadness. When we say that I have seen light, flash, then it is not absolute. Because darkness is the other side of that light. When we say I see something, that is not happiness. It is not light. Or something else. I see something, then it is not the absolute. Because when you see something, then there would be something which is not being seen. The fundamental thought or the bottom line is very simple. The absolute has no dualities. The absolute has no characteristics. When you can describe something, it simply means that it is not the absolute. When you can think about something, it simply means that that is not the absolute. Absolute is there only to be experienced. And that experience cannot be described by words, cannot be reached by mind or thoughts. That is beyond all the thoughts, all the words, is beyond our imagination. It is just there. in you, within you, and without you. It's everywhere. It only has to be experienced. And when someone experiences the absolute, and that can only be achieved when someone is one, someone has achieved the oneness with the absolute. And when there is no duality, there is no other left, then and then only one can experience the absolute. But while walking on the path to realize the absolute, which is yourself, when we encounter with so many different kind of stories and thoughts and ideas, we have to be very careful that what we allow into us, because whatever we will allow into us, whatever we will permit, we are promoting that. And when you promote the wrong idea or the incomplete idea, we become incomplete. We miss the mark. And that is why, even though there is nothing wrong in exploring so many different ways and so many alternatives, but on the spiritual path, there is no alternative. With the absolute, there is no other idea. There's only one. As the father of Rishi Shwetketu. Shwetketu was a very learned man. But his father only said, look, whatever you have learned, no matter how clever or intelligent you are, and he was a great achiever, but still, the bottom line is Tattvamasi. That is you, or you are that. That's the bottom line. Nothing else. There is no separation. There is no segregation. There is no duality. If we allow the duality to go into us, if we allow the alternate ways, they are not the alternate ways. Still, if we allow the alternate ways to go into us, that will be what we will be promoting. And when we actually walk on the wrong path, on the wrong way, on the wrong side, after a while, after a few years, some people would say, I was meditating for last 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, but still I am here. Same as before. Nothing has been changed. And why is that? Because we have missed the mark. The bottom line, that there is no duality. There is only one, and that is you. You are the way, you are the medium, and you are the destiny. And that's it. So when we promote something else, when we permit something else, which is not the perfection in the path of realization, then even though we are putting our best effort, still we cannot achieve the result. The reason is very simple, that we are permitting so many things, unnecessary things, sometimes false things, incomplete things, incomplete thoughts, incomplete experiences into our mind. And that is why we keep missing the mark. So while walking on the path of spirituality, as it happens in this world, that whatever you permit in the world, we are simply promoting that. Whether that could be kindness or violence, good things or bad things. Whatever we are permitting, we are promoting. Likewise, whatever we are permitting in the path of spirituality, we are promoting that. And when we promote wrong things, then we will miss the mark. So it was today's topic. Please unmute yourself, and you can also input your ideas and views and thoughts. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Vijayji, thank you so much for this wonderful topic. You always bring up so much deep concepts so that we can reflect upon, and what you permit is what you promote. Starting with the story of this young boy who had got influenced by by his mother, that the mother did not stop. She just allowed, and she did not correct. I think followed by what you have shared about in the path of spirituality, we come across so many. It's like what do you say, like candies, like on the way, the when we are walking on the spirituality, like we get to experience or taste the candies, but we get stuck there only. We don't move forward. That's We don't realize that, okay, we are in so much joy in experiencing that or tasting that candy, that we forgot where we had to head. So here, in the spirituality, the main goal is to realize ourselves, and whatever comes in the way, just one has to be a witness to it, not get carried away by it. When we get carried away, we are promoting that. So it's a wonderful, wonderful concept, Vijayji. And lastly, you spoke about Shvetaketu. Patriji always spoke about Shvetaketu, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. And last couple of weeks or 3 weeks back, Dinesh ji had shared the story of Shvetaketu, and there he had. It was the first time for me to listen to that story, and wherein Shvetaketu comes back home and his father questions him. Shvetaketu's father Uddala questions him. Um, have your master taught you that which cannot be taught? I think there is nothing one can teach anyone. One has to realize by their own self, and that can only happen when we just witness everything, not getting carried away, as you said, not getting carried away by the book, or not getting carried away by any things, like when we come across so many things in spirituality, like angels or all these things. They're just there, but that's not the destination. We have to go ahead. We have to move forward. So thank you so much, Vijayji. And it's not only it's not only the concepts that we hear outside, but also what we think also in the mind, that we are permitting. That is what we are promoting. So we have to be really careful of what we are thinking, so that that is what we are promoting. So thank you for this thought-provoking, very much important topic that you had brought to us. Thank you so much, Vijay.
Thank you.
Yes, friends, anybody want to share anything? You can just go ahead and unmute yourself, please. So Indrani ji says that she got more answers to progress further, Vijay ji. So thank you so much, Vijay ji. Yeah,
Thanks. Okay. Namaste.
thank you. Namaste. So we will all see each other, masters, with another new concept from Vijay ji next week. Till then, have a great time and namaste to all.